Hey guys, welcome back to World of Warships. Today we're taking a look at the new premium Petro. This is going to allow you to swap over Kuznetsov completely for free. That retraining costs, moving him around, you don't have to worry about when it's a premium or special ship, in this case at tier 10. One of the best reasons to grind this ship out in the new Lunar New Year event, completely for free. This one isn't too bad at only 29,500 tokens. So a little cheaper than Schlieffen, a lot cheaper than the Laria clone that we're actually fighting right here. This one is likely the best option for most people, unless you're brawling a lot in your Schlieffen, which I am an enjoyer of too. But considering Petro still gets used in competitive, I think so. I don't play a lot of competitive these days, but I'm pretty sure Petro sees playtime there. Still, the ship is very good in those game modes. The option to swap Kuznetsov is absolutely incredible. Also, just Petro is a very, very strong ship in World of Warships still. Even in random battles here, having a 12-kilometer radar alongside devastating main guns. Their accuracy being very good with the legendary mod, which we are using here, yes. This ship can actually slot legendary mods. Very nice. It's not a separate thing at all. The Petro here, alongside Z52, any of the other copy ships that have legendary mods, you can just use it, which I really, really like. I think that is a good thing to have. I don't know why they made a separate one for that copy of Yamato in an ARP event a long time ago. Nice to see that they are not continuing with that here. So if you have legendary mod Petro, you want to play that with Kuznetsov, this is a great one to go for. Now, we did take a look at the changed and nerfed Petro leg mod a little while ago. That was last update. And I still like playing with it. As you guys know, I'm a big fan of accuracy and consistency. Combining that with something like Outnumbered, we're about to get some absolutely disgusting dispersion out of Petro. The way this ship works is at close range, you have better than cruiser dispersion. At these longer ranges, though, 16 kilometers for sure, even 12 to 14 kilometers plus, it's worse than cruiser dispersion. In fact, it gets much worse than even battle cruiser dispersion. It's a weird dispersion curve, so much better at closer ranges. However, including the legendary mod, which still gives us 10% better dispersion, and Outnumbered, which gives us another 10% dispersion, it's pretty good. You're not always going to have access to Outnumbered, but considering how tanky this ship is, you don't have to just play with your teammates. You can try to hold some of these flanks. 360 turrets here also helping us out. That nerf to the legendary mod, though, if you missed that video, was that they changed the way the consumable reduction works here. No longer is it a reduction in the number of consumables, it's a reduction in the duration of consumables. So 25% worse duration. That means your radar is much less useful, as this is already a short duration radar, and we all know that there is a bit of downtime before your teammates get to shoot at the target you're radaring. So that is a big penalty here. The healing is about the same as old legendary mod Petro, where you had 3 heals. This now gets 4 heals, but at 25% reduced action time. It's a pretty similar amount of healing total. But that means you have to get through a whole nother cooldown rotation of your heal. Certainly a nerf to this ship's survivability, as well as the AP alpha damage bonus that the legendary mod gave. Used to be 10%. Now it's only 7.5%. That's relatively minor, though, considering this ship still has quite high AP alpha damage. It's still a buff to the alpha damage when you are running this legendary mod. And being in slot 6, it means we're no longer taking things like reload mod or range mod. But when we get dispersion like this into this, I don't know why he went broadside Siegfried, I'll take it. Worse reload or a little bit less range, it's fine. It's fine if we're getting this kind of dispersion. Excuse the border riding, I apologize. I ran out of space on this flank, but we are making good use of Outnumbered here. Wow, that dispersion is not what this ship does most of the time, okay? I must stress this. This is Outnumbered, giving us a massive advantage on top of the legendary mod. But I like Petro for these sorts of situations. Having a tanky radar is really nice. I don't know if you've tried to play something like Des Moines these days, but 30 millimeters of armor is kind of tough. Petro having 40 millimeters upper belt and deck armor helps it a lot. Very small superstructure here as well. And it's quite satisfying to have guns that can punish even battleships, not just cruisers. It's very good. The HE is not too bad here either, but I prefer the armor piercing thanks to the improved pen angles. For most of you, I do think Petro is the best one to go for. It's either this or Laria or Schlieffen. The advantages of Laria, of course, is if you don't have steel, getting yourself a steel ship without spending any steel is really, really interesting. And a pretty easy recommend for those of you that don't play a lot of clan battles. However, if you already have a Laria or you're just not as interested in that ship, it's kind of a toss-up, in my opinion, between are you playing more Petro or are you playing more Schlieffen? The advantage is the exact same. Lucian's buff on Schlieffen is amazing, allowing you to get even more crazy secondary fun DPM out of that ship. Lucian's is awesome on the Schlieffen. But so is Kuznetsov on Petro, man. Having access to this extra heal and damage control at low HP is very powerful on such a tanky ship. You're often going to be able to take advantage of it on something like Petro, thanks to this ship typically not getting burst down through that 10% low health heal that Kuznetsov gets you. I think overall Petro is going to be better for more players. I do. But if you play a lot of brawls, if you play a lot of alternate game modes, Schlieffen is just a lot of fun. Let's be honest, in randoms though, Schlieffen, it's been power crept by things like Libertad, for example, Valparaiso. There's a lot of other secondary brawling battleships that are just better than Schlieffen these days. Still a good ship, but if you're exclusively in randoms, or maybe a little bit of comp play, ranked play, the Petro is probably the right one to go for. However, that's if you play them similarly. Just pick the one that you play more. That would definitely be my suggestion here. All of these ships are available completely for free, especially Petro and Schlieffen. So it's not like this is a must grind through event. You can always, if you've missed this event or you just don't have time to play right now, you can just get these ships for free by playing through the tech tree lines, okay? So it's not like you have to force yourself to grind through this. I do think this is just a nice advantage for those that want to play through and not have to spend the doubloons to retrain commanders. Mentioned this before, but in Legends, the console game, play that on PS5. It's also on your phone. They let you retrain commanders for free. You can swap commander points whenever you want to. You can swap out different commanders whenever you want to as well. Petro a little slow on the turret traverse here. I didn't pre-turn my turrets quite enough. We still get him though. Big respect to the Montana. We'll be comping him later because he didn't go for the ram. We got to brawl and not just ended in a ram. I love the broadside to broadside engagements. So much fun. We'll take the E in this one as well. But it's a little unfortunate that the PC game here, we don't have access to swapping commanders for free as well as retraining for free. It's a really fun element of the console game because you can try different builds whenever you want to. And we sort of get that with special ships and premium ships. So that's a nice element of this event. I'm still disappointed that the new content with the Lunar New Year update here is locked behind 2 layers of gambling crates. It puts a real damper on this event for me. It really makes it hard to get as excited about this update, even though I do think this is a really cool event. It's copy-pasted ships. I do think it's a cool event to grind through as well as getting new content. But the fact that we have to gamble thousands of dollars to get that new content essentially means there wasn't new content, right? Like if I was thinking back to before I was doing YouTube in this game, I was a student, I didn't have much money to spend on the game, but I enjoyed playing it. This update would essentially be copy-paste ships is the only new thing here. There's no way I'd have the money to spend on these containers. And that's kind of the mindset I try to be in to think about these new events. And it's really, really unfortunate. And that Tai Hang coming back, the 2 dockyard ships coming back. Anyways, it's sad for me because we had such a great end of 2025 wargaming. And this is... While okay, if we just look at the copy-paste tech tree ships and other premium ships in this event, it's okay. It's the whole context of what's around it that makes me quite disappointed here. Here's a pretty standard example of Petro's start of a battle. You kind of find an island where you can play bow in, still firing all of your guns, because we're pretty well angled here, it's fine. But especially with Legendary mod, I'm not playing quite as aggressively. We have much better dispersion at range, for one thing, allowing us to be more effective at these longer battles. But also, we just don't heal up through as much HP with this Legendary mod. So playing a little safer early is probably the way to go if you are running the legendary mod. You can always save that HP to push later. 12-kilometer radar is still useful in a lot of these positions where we're pretty far back still. It's a long range radar. I also want to be helping my destroyers too, so I see the Lucian and Shima getting quite aggressive, so especially the Lucian in the middle there to fight 2 of the enemy destroyers. That might be where we need to push for. But it'd be good to finish off this Thunder and things first. I don't always push, okay? It's not always like every game looks like that first match. That certainly was my best example. But playing a bit more cautious, Petro still does extremely well. And notice how much I'm using the armor piercing here. If you haven't played this ship before, the AP does feel very, very good. The pen is amazing. You get similar pen to like 380mm battleship shells with these guns, and you have improved pen angles. It's great shell velocity too, allowing us to not have to lead too far for a lot of these targets. It's really nice. HE swap allows us to do really good damage into these destroyers. Perhaps we lose DPM compared to, say, reload mod, but getting better dispersion maybe means our effective DPM is a little better with the legendary mod. I'm all about consistency, as you guys know, and so this legendary mod feels quite good for me. Although I guess another reason we're playing a little further back these days is that 40mm of armor, while still amazing, it's not quite what it was when Petro was originally released. We're seeing some airstrikes that can get through that. There's a lot more 50mm pen HE in the game too. So considering the reduction to our survivability with this legendary mod and the changes to the meta, makes me play a little further back. And again, that's why I still really value something like the legendary mod. And why don't we play a live game here to talk about positioning? Normally, I'd probably want to go for something like the 9-10 line. But in this case, my DDs went pretty narrow, so we want to follow them up, right? Notice our radar duration here, okay? Laffy's here, it's fine. Our radar duration is out before I even get another salvo on this guy. So I probably should have been on HE there as well. But I'm also in a position here where I get nice. Look at that, 5 of 6 on our front guns on that Yamagiri. It's going to help us out a lot. Now, that Yamagiri probably didn't have torps up, but he might have. So he might have torped through this pretty common choke point here. And it seems like they are... Wait, he shot them. But why? All right, I'll take it. Seems like they are maybe going for that 10-line play. It's fine. I will back off here, though. I don't want to deal with Utrecht bombs, that's for sure. And our team is playing a little bit more passive, okay? We don't want to tank for the whole team. Yes, we're a very tanky cruiser, but we don't want to tank for the whole team. Wait for better opportunities. I am running defensive AA. Okay, now this seems wacky, but hear me out. I'm often playing bow in on islands like this. Carrier games, games with things like an Utrecht. It's nice to have a defensive AA. I will say, though, I miss Hydro a lot of the time. It's a very valuable utility that you probably should be using. And I'm going to swap over to the armor piercing here, just in case we see something like Utrecht pushing. Yes! Oh, look at the timing here. And what do we get? 12.9 kilometers away. And it's 4 overpens. No, it's 4 overpens, guys. That's painful. And yeah, they get the Utrecht. So sometimes you're just not going to get the dispersion you were looking for when it comes to this ship. It's not perfect like we saw in that first match. That was outnumbered though too, which we don't have active here. I'm also going to start looking at pushing up as the airstrike is now gone. Their Pommern is quite low. So now we can start applying some more pressure. We know where their team is, right? We know where Petri is, Montana is. So we can start to think about playing a little bit more aggressive here. Not particularly interested in getting in a bow-on fight with the Moskva, so we'll stay a little bit more behind the island here. And oh, look at the damage. 7 hits there. I also don't want to just eat Laffy Torps for free here. We're waiting until our guns are reloaded, and then we radar. And we're going to try and finish off this Laffy, who I think is grounding. Yamagiri could be a problem. 7,000! Yes, we're getting some nice DD examples now. And another hit. Oh no, I'm in the line of torps. Hydro pickers would be happy here. Yes, this is going to hurt. Half our health. Yeah. Too bad. I am surprised that Laffy got away, but he did. And I hit him somehow. Great. Little longer on our radar, and I think we would have been in some pretty good shape. The reason I went forward, of course, is because of this Yamagiri torp potential. Quite scary. Oh no! And we missed him. Our Barbiano's quite aggressive. That's good. Moskva does not notably have improved pen angles on his AP. Alright, we should get him there. Yes, okay, we at least got one DD. Great. And I don't know why this Laffy shot, but I'll take it. Armor is holding. We're loaded just in time. Got great dispersion. Oh, we leave him on 1,000. Close. Very, very close. Still, though, we're doing great. Not a lot of damage in this one, but pretty solid battle impact, I would say. GK is quite broadside. Moskva might go for the turn out here, so we'll swap over to the AP. You know, I can't spend the entire game bow in like this, but I certainly can spend some time here. And yes, that consistency coming through. You know, it's one of those situations where you got to time your push a little more these days, where old Petro, it felt like you could just push anything and just kind of get away with it. It was ridiculous. The game should not be like that. So I like this better. We see Laffy shots here. We see GK. And I'm going to go with a radar. Oh, wait, he spotted somehow. I don't know how he got lit. I guess from shooting, and our guys had him there. 5 hits, lovely. And I'm going to wait again on our radar until we're loaded. He's going to slow down and turn away. Okay, smart. Smart. I should have waited for him to make his move. Now he's going to speed up. He's dodging well. He's playing well. Think our rears should get him? No, bad shots on my part. Okay, note to self, don't just spin up the game and expect to be perfect on your aim. First battle of the day. That's okay. I really am glad about this example, though, because of the destroyer damage. I didn't really get to show that in the kind of the initial videos, where we do get to see that here better. Lovely, lovely stuff. We'll take the Laffy here as well.
We've sunk an enemy destroyer.
Because Petro is an absolute monster at dealing with enemy destroyers. You know, it's one of those things where obviously a 12-kilometer radar is going to be good alongside this kind of dispersion, but it's good to have examples of that. You know, it's good to have examples of that. I'm eating another torp here because I'm greedy for my rear guns. Okay, greed hurts sometimes, but we still do it. We still do it. It's still worth it. Yeah, 7,000 there. Nice. We'll take the heal. The heals are pretty small. You know, 7,000 here. 67k damage. Not amazing in this one, but it's a lot of DD damage, so I would expect our base XP is decent. GK turning more broadside. We'll take that too. Gladly. I don't think we can Citadel. Not with that dispersion. But you'd be surprised with Petro AP sometimes. It's really funny what it's capable of. I was debating if I should go through this gap here, but that would mean giving too much broadside to the GK. While I am quite tanky angled, broadside on, this ship still has a large citadel. All right, you got to consider that it's well above water, and it's got okay armor for a cruiser. Certainly it's very good, but it's not even battle cruiser level, I would say. Certainly not battleship. When we're angled, we're doing all right, though. 360 turrets coming in handy here. You know, you always have the rear turret or front turrets online. Oh, do we get it? Yeah, we get it. Nice little 4-kill game here. And nearly 100k. 65k spotting in this one, yeah. A little more team play here than just pure off-flank farming damage. And I'm glad for that. I'm glad to show a little different way that Petro can play. It's a great ship still, guys. It really is. Honestly, for most of you, this is just a better ship to go for than something like Schlieffen, especially in random battles. I'm kind of partial to playing brawling ships, as you guys know. Yeah, lots of going after DDs in this one. And it worked out. It worked out quite well. Solid credits out of this one. This is green boosters. You get a bonus package, which is nice. If you don't have bonus package on Petro, it will make more credits, but that's down to the bonus package here. The other difference is that your service costs are lower on special ships. Okay, we'll go back to port here now. Premium ships at tier 10 are designated as special ships. You can see that by the white cruiser icon with the gold wreath. This means that you do not get built-in credit multipliers. Again, that is separate from the bonus package. Premium ships just baked into the ship without even accounting for this bonus package have a credit multiplier. Special ships like this do not. They still get a bonus package, and they get the reduced servicing costs. And you can see the bonuses here. So moving commanders over is the big one here when it comes to Petro. But here we go, right? Reduced battle, post-battle service costs. But as soon as we go down to one of the tier 9s and it's a premium ship, suddenly you see that more credits here as a feature. That's the big difference here. So it's not a full premium. This is why tier 9s earn more, because they're full premiums. A tier 9 premium will earn more than a tier 10 special ship would on the same base XP and the same boosters. But it's still a little better. Like if you don't have, again, especially if you don't have the bonus package on your Petro, this will earn more because of that bonus package and reduced servicing costs. So Petro, a good option, certainly. Very, very good to go for. A little cheaper than Schlieffen, certainly a lot cheaper than Laria, and a very, very good ship still in today's meta. The ability to run something like Legendary Mod is very nice. Very exposed Citadel that you got to worry about, but it's very low in the water. Get a bit of Icebreaker here. It's a very tanky ship still. The option to run that Legendary Mod, it's the exact same one. Very, very cool too. I prefer it because of the accuracy is what I have decided, but still running main gun reload can be good. And before you get the Legendary Mod, if you don't have it and you want a little better consistency, you can go range mod. Okay, range mod pushes out the swap point, okay, where Petro goes from being better than cruiser dispersion to worse than cruiser dispersion. It moves that point, that changeover point, a little further out, like a kilometer further away. You retain your better dispersion. So this actually is meaningfully better dispersion when you run range mod. It's not as good as running the legendary mod, which is why I will still run it over range mod. But before you get the legendary mod, or you just don't want to spend the research points on the legendary mod, that can be an option for you to get a little better consistency if you're noticing reload mod isn't quite as accurate as you would like. But that's going to do it for the Petro today. Another look at this ship in the event here. I'm glad that they did this event. I really am. It's just hard when the new content is locked behind such aggressive, horrible monetization for the players. It's hard for me to get as excited about a copy-paste event. But there is some legitimate value here for you guys to go with that I can't ignore. It's just really hard for me to get excited about this event as a whole, considering how the rest of it is being delivered. Again, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great rest of your day.